We are filling the scorecard. Steve Phillips joins us as per usual on the stove on this Monday. Steve, good morning. Thanks as always for the time. The Aaron Nola signing, I know you were talking about it on the leadoff spot today on MLB Network Radio. It's the big story out of baseball this weekend. The fact that the Phillies re-land him, I guess is the right way to put it, does that mean they're out of the running for some of these other high-priced starters, or where are they now building their staff for 2024?
You know, it's interesting, right? Word on the street is they're still in on Yoshinobu Yamamoto, but I got to believe that's because the Mets and the Braves might be in on it. I can't imagine they're going to spend make a seventh player, a 9-figure deal at $200 million for Yamamoto. So I'm not convinced that's the case. Listen, I thought Nola's agent did a great job. I felt comfortable around 5 years. He got 7. The AAV isn't the issue, and this is where agents make their money, right? Add extra years on the deal. And so Dave Dombrowski's been one that he'll pay the stars and keep them there, and he'll figure it out down the road if they age out a little bit. But Nola's been very effective. And, oh, by the way, you guys know how important it is. He's proven that he can pitch in Philadelphia. So I think that they're probably out on the big starting pitching. I think they've got to address the back end of the bullpen. Now, whether Hader's a factor for them or not, I think he should be. If not, Jordan Hicks is the Dave Dombrowski-type power arm guy you can put at the end of the game. But I think they're probably out on the big-time starting pitchers and more inclined to fortify that bullpen now.
Yeah, especially with Wheeler coming up for free agency. If they sign somebody there, that closes the door. It was amazing to me to think about Nola being in a Braves uniform and how crazy Philadelphia and everybody would have went to. What did the Braves do now, Steve? Losing out on Nola, what do they pivot to now?
Yeah, it's interesting. There's so many. The word on the street is the Braves are going to be really active. Now, the one thing we know is that Alex Anthopoulos likes the preemptive strike. He likes to go right away to get deals done. That's why I think the Nola market churned early like it did. Sonny Gray seems to be the pivot for the Atlanta Braves, that they're looking that if not Nola, then Sonny Gray. Now, it's going to be a different price point, fewer years, less AAV because of the age of Sonny Gray. But the Twins are certainly in. The Cardinals are in on Sonny Gray. The Giants are in on Sonny Gray. I think Bob Melvin having had him in the past with Oakland. So I think there's going to be a number of teams that are interested in there. But I think Atlanta does go to get a starting pitcher. They may need 2 starting pitchers to really round out that rotation. They're in on Yamamoto as well. And there's some speculation they could be a secret player on Ohtani too. Not to be a pitcher this year, but to add to that offense with Ozuna going to be out of the deal a year from now. So I think the Braves are going to be in, and I think the Grays, probably on a pitching point of view, their primary target.
Moving on in the pitching category from the Braves and where they might look to a guy that might be on the move. We talked about Dylan Cease earlier with J.P. Morosi and the fact that the Dodgers would be among the interested parties. Is there anything here, and where else, if in fact Cease is available, would there be a market for him?
Yeah, certainly. I think the thing about Dylan Cease, you get a couple of years of controllability. And so if you're going to give up prospects, you like the idea of doing that. Look, we know Tyler Glasnow could be had. Corbin Burns could be had. But Cease, a finalist for the Cy Young Award in 2022, he walks his fair share of guys. A lot like a Blake Snell in many ways, where he pitches himself into and out of trouble because he can get swings and misses. The Dodgers absolutely are in. They've got a farm system that can be able to manage it, and they've got an analytics department. They think they can fix him. But I think the Orioles, there was a lot of chatter last year at the deadline that the Orioles were really considering a Dylan Cease deal. It didn't happen then, but I think Chris Getz in Chicago right now is motivated to really fortify a farm system, stock it up, trade away all these guys, build it up from the ground up. So I think you could look for the Orioles really getting in on this one as well. Maybe Atlanta, although they tend to like strike throwers a little bit more. So I'm not convinced that Snell or Cease really fit in Atlanta.
Makes all sense to me. And let's ask you lastly about something that we've teased a couple times today. We're told that you have a hot ballpark take, and we've talked a lot about the Reds this hour. What do you got in Cincinnati?
Yeah, so think back to after the 2021 season in Baltimore, all the home runs they gave up. And one of the biggest moves they made to go into 2022 that turned their record around, right? They went to plus 33. They moved the left field wall back. And so the balls that went out of the ballpark stayed in. They didn't give up as many runs, gave their pitchers extra opportunities to get outs and save some of those runs, and it made a huge difference. The Cincinnati Reds are exactly in that same place. Good young pitchers, but they're home run prone. And we know the ball can fly out of Great American Ballpark. I think the answer in Cincinnati is what they did in Baltimore. Look what it's done now to the Baltimore pitching staff. You've got great arms there in Cincinnati. Move the fences back. Make the ball stay in the ballpark. They've got speed too, right? Their offense is built this way. They led the league in stolen bases. They can manufacture runs. And I like if these pitchers get extra opportunities to get outs and their speed in the outfield can run down some of those balls and make plays, I think it changes the dynamic of what this defense and run prevention can look like for Cincinnati, while they'll still be able to manufacture because of the speed factor they have in this lineup. Look, I'm bullish on the Reds, but I think that if they do what the Orioles did and move the fences back, I think they can jump right to the top of the National League much more quickly than where they are right now. And so that would be what I would do in Cincinnati.
All right. Well, if in fact that happens, and for folks that have not been to Camden Yards since the ballpark change, this is this is what it looks like there now.
It's like the old Atari wall in the middle there.
That's I think that's what it felt like to Trey Mancini, among others, that hit for power to left field. Steve Phillips joining us on a Monday. Steve, thanks, man. If we don't talk to you beforehand, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, and we'll visit with you next week.
Yeah, terrific, guys. You too. Thanks very much.